Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Happy Friday and happy new month. So, we're going to get in here and talk some business tips this morning. I hope all is doing great. And let's get in and talk some business daily tips because at the end of the day, you need some info of how to get out here and use your gifts and talents because you were created for greatness, right? And we know that. All right. So I got everything going on my different platforms. So you know the deal. If I look away, then you know that's I'm not looking away from you. I'm looking into trying to give everybody a little attention this morning. Now, the topic of conversation on this Friday morning, I'm going to give you maybe a 15 to 20 minute info session here, okay, on some things that you need to know about business. And I run into this quite a bit when I'm working with clients. Yes, I do. And I know if they are dealing with this, maybe you are too. So, my name is Sandy. I'm Biz Strategist Sandy. That's what they call me in the world of business. And I help you in all aspects of your business. I get your idea, that your concept that you have in your mind, and I help you present it in a way that you can be able to get funding for your business. You can be able to have it structured and have some longevity of your business. So that's what I'm all about over here. I'm helping you win out here in the world of business and whatever other endeavors that you want to accomplish in it. I'm your person that's going to always give you some positive feedback and some positive info. So that's what I'm here for. All right. And so if you have any comments this morning, please don't be afraid. I will be looking back and forth. And if I miss them, hey, cut and paste them and put them out there again in case I missed them. All right. So count it to my head, not my heart, because I'm here for you. All right. Not here for anything else. You have any questions? This is the time to ask. Okay. This is the time to ask. Right. So anyway, that's what I'm working on here. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna see about trying to go live on a few more of my other platforms, and we're gonna go ahead and begin. Now, what's the conversation that I said we're having today? Things you need to know about business. Things you need to know about business. All right. I know you've been told a lot of things. I know that they told you there's 1,001 shortcuts, right? They are, but we're not going to talk about the shortcuts because the shortcut stuff makes you lazy. All right. And now in this climate, in this world that we're in now, we need to set ourselves above and beyond just the average. We don't need to be average now. We need to be what? We need to be that. We need to stand out. We need to be the one that's above and beyond the call of duty. All righty. Okay. Now, the first thing one thing that I would advise you and I would let you know about business is you need to start with a foundation. You can't start a business with a weak foundation. If you do, then you won't get far. You won't be able, you're coming to roadblocks, you hit a brick wall, and then you feel like you're having to start over, and then you may get frustrated and want to quit. So I don't want you to do that. All right. So what do I mean when I say a solid foundation? You need your LLC. That LLC need to be powered in a way that you can always structure it in a different way, and you can always form it to transition it to a C corp or S corp. That's a conversation. That's a deeper conversation that I don't want to get into here because it can set you apart and can set your business structure in a way that you will be able to be more recognizable when you're working on getting bank funding and things of that sort, or either other monies for your business. Okay. Now, we don't want to commingle any funds. Commingling is not the way to go. And what I mean by commingling, meaning that you set up a business and you have not structured your business in a way that you can get a business bank account, right? And so you need a business bank account. You don't want to put your money in a personal account because through the eyes of the IRS and through the eyes of being a business structuring or structured in a way, you will not be qualified, or you will not be classified as a business. Okay. Every transaction that you make regarding whether it's deposits, whether it's purchasing things, purchasing items, even to the point where you need to make sure that you got a certain percentage to pay Uncle Sam, IRS, Internal Revenue Services. You can't bypass avoiding not paying them. Let me ask you this too as well. And for those that might be listening to this on the replay, if you're setting up a business, you've applied for your EIN, you've gotten your EIN number, do you not think that that record is not in the IRS database? And then especially if you have a bank account, a business bank account, and you fail to report any of your earnings for that business, do you not think you can get by for a little while, but do you actually think that that's going to be a long-term goal of accomplishment for you? That's going to bite you in the butt later, and it may be 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and it will come back to haunt you. So don't think just because you getting by, you haven't been contacted after you started a business and you haven't reported any of your sales and your earnings, and you haven't done your books correctly with that you are bypassing something that later on you may say, oh, okay, no, I'm good to go. I didn't report that. I've talked to a few people. Some people hadn't filed their taxes, or not even necessarily in business, within the last 8 years. And I was like, when this person said that to me, I'm like, what? He was like, yes, 8 years for your personal. So don't get into that, mindset. Now, he wouldn't make a good candidate for a business. And you know why he wouldn't? Because his discipline is not where it needs to be. He needs to be disciplined in an area where he is going to shift his mindset, and he's going to be able to do, if not his taxes quarterly, he need to do them once a year, at least once a year. But quarterly, I would recommend in the business world. Okay, so let's carry on and give you some more information about the foundational things. Now, the next thing is your DUNS number. It's going to be good to have a Duns and Bradstreet number. That is going to benefit you all the way to the bank. Yeah, so your Duns and Bradstreet number is a business. That Duns and Bradstreet number is kind of like your business credit history in a sense, and it's establishing, it's helping you establish, because most vendors, when they are dealing with business owners, they ask for a Dun and Bradstreet number. Some don't require it per se, but most of them would love for you to have that. All right. Now, next thing that you need to know about business: recognize a hobby from a business. Recognize a hobby and a business. If you're not doing it for fun and not tracking profit, it's a hobby. If you're doing it for fun and you're not tracking your profits, it's a hobby. Hobby lobby. It's a hobby. So if you're building systems and if you're tracking your income and expenses, it's a business. And the IRS classify and know the difference. You can't BS them. There's certain questions that, when you're filing tax returns and that kind of thing too as well. And then if you're reporting any kind of earnings in that, they'll ask you that, but they ask you a series of questions that classify you as that, whether you're a hobby or your business. Know the difference. That is where a lot of people get it confused too. And then when you're in hobby mode, or when you're thinking hobby, guess what? That information that I mentioned earlier about the structure, you don't even have that together. So have that together and do the thing right. Do the thing right. Okay. All right. Now, this is a good one here. I've ran into this with people so many times before. I'm telling you. I'm a veteran at this, and I know I can spot things when, I know you're not prepared. Okay. Now, the third one is documentation. The power of documentation. This is something else you need to know in business. The power of documentation. When you don't have documentation for whatever that source of future lending opportunities is going to be for you, you don't have any proof of nothing, no concept, no contracts, no receipts, no operating agreements, no communications, no kind of organizations. If you want a grant, loan, or investor, your paperwork needs to be on point. And this is where a lot of you are not doing it right. You don't understand. You just don't know. You don't understand it. When you start business, let me give you a little word of advice. When you are out here starting a business, you should get, or either on the potential of growing a business, you should have you a little case, a little organizer. Go to one of these little cute little stores and buy you one, and something real nice. I wish I can show you. I have a box or two here. I just have like my little decorative boxes that I love, just kind of storing things in. Hey there, I like storing things in, and you should put everything in one of those your little cute little boxes. Yes, you should. You really should. And just get one to personalize it for yourself. Let it be personal to you. And then all of your information and your documentations, like your EIN number, a copy of that, your LLC certificate, your certificate, all of that, your DUNS paperwork, all the thanks for the hearts over here. All of that information should be put in a safe place and having it together. So when you get to the point in your business, when you want to get a grant, when you want to get a loan, when you want to speak to investors, you are ready. Documentation and that operating agreement. Do you know, even when you're working on getting up, let's say when SBA is giving out funding or loans or whatever, and helping, like the disaster that we had here, a lot of people, maybe they did and they didn't know that they could apply for funding, right? They could get this system. You had to have an operating agreement with that. Yes. And it's best to have that operating agreement. I go over that with my business clients all the time. So if you want to be a future business client of mine, let me know. So I go over all of these things with my clients, and we put in the operating agreement information tailored to their business. And you will be amazed at some of the things that can go in there and can benefit the business owner in the future. And it can be advantageous for the business owner. So, like I said, contracts, operating agreements, all of those things, we just don't understand the power of the documentation. And it's time that we know that. Okay. That's one thing. That's another thing. All right. And then also, I just kind of brief this one. This is the next one that I really, really want you. Listen to me. Look in my eyes. Over here, over here, over here. Look into my eyes. I really want you to really, really, really don't take this for granted. Don't take this one for granted at all. Separate your personal funds financials from your business financials. Separate them. Have them differently. You can even pay yourself in business when you get to that point. There's so much that you can benefit from, especially under this administration when it comes down to business. I'm telling you, I'm seeing the information. I'm looking, I'm studying, I'm, seeing what's available for the business owner. And don't slip, people. When I say don't slip, have your documentation together so you can benefit from this. And then later on in the event, we pray that this doesn't happen. But if you ever would get audited, you would be ready, and you won't be responsible for not being prepared. Okay, that's all. So if you start off right, you won't get so overwhelmed in the future. Like, oh, where's my paper? Where's my paper? Just start off putting everything, just being organized. Definitely start doing that, being a little bit more organized. That's going to help you. Okay. Now, this one here, it's It's one that it's a little, it's very important as well. And it's a little, it's a skill set with this one, I think, because maybe you haven't been used to doing things like this, like knowing those numbers, keeping up with everything, even if you're running ads or you're advertising, you're understanding what's going to drive your numbers. Like certain businesses do well in certain seasons, certain times of the year. Once you're being business, like for that full entire year, I would recommend you just doing a, previous year to date, what was going on for this year to date thing. How was I doing this time last year? Or how was my business doing at this point, the last 3 months or the last month, or so just know your numbers. Know your numbers all the time. Know your obligation for taxes. I recommend anyone, when you start a business, this is just a tip, this is things that I do, have a separate account. Or like, say for instance, if you certain amount come into your business, if you making a certain amount, put a percentage in an account that say this is just strictly for tax purposes, when I file taxes, or if you going to file quarterly. And then look, you may not even use all of that percentage, because you may have enough tax write-up that your tax liability won't be as much as you think it would be, right? And so you have a little extra, but at least put that up. So don't spend everything that you have in your business account. Just do it that way. And that's what I'm saying. This is something that you need to know as a business owner. This is something that it would benefit you. It would be very advantageous for you. Okay. All right. And then another thing that you need to know about business with your customers, build relationships with the people that you're going to do business with. Build relationships. And what I mean is, have a system, or have something that you're always connecting with them. Even if you don't try to sell to them all the time, even if you're not physically just doing business with them every day, set up a relationship with them. Maybe you can have a platform that you can just meet, say, hey, I'm going to do a week webinar, or you're going to send them information through email and that kind of thing. You can build up a relationship with the text messaging services. So there's so much that we can talk about in business, and then also making sure that, you have a plan to market to your future customers, or the ones that you already have, to just continue that, that relationship. Because consistency and repetition is great. It's going to take you a long way, and it's going to help your business get to the next level. Okay. So those are some of the things. I'm going to stop there today. I do have a few more to give you. So we're going to stop here this morning. And when we get, we're going to talk about a little bit more. We'll do another video possibly in the morning. I'll do it live. So I'm working I've been creating my videos and then posting them up there, but I'm going to do a few lives. So you come back tomorrow morning. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Just good accounting. That's right. And so what I'll do is I'll see you in the morning Eastern. I'm on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. Let's see, around the same time tomorrow morning, maybe around 9 a.m. or something of that sort. Maybe between 8. Yeah, about 9 a.m. because I probably will go and work out in the morning. Yeah, I am faithfully working out, keeping myself healthy here. Alrighty. Okay, well, I'm Big Strategist Sandy, and tomorrow morning, if you have any questions, like I said, just bring them in to your feed. Hey there. Hey, Earl, how are you? Yes, so definitely make sure that you are here in the morning. Set those notifications so when I'm live, I'm here. Okay, all right, and then I can answer some of your business questions. And we're going to do a part 2, this things you need to know about business. All right, okay, things you need to know about business. All right. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video, and have a beautiful day. And remember, you were created for greatness. Yes, you were. Yes, you are. You're created for greatness. Act like it, walk like it, talk like it. Be that person that God has created you to be, unapologetically. Okay? Be unapologetically about who you are in this world. Because it's this thing really, y'all, is between you and God and no one else. You're just going to do what you need to do in the land, in his creation, what he created us to do. You're going to be here to do the work that he's called you to do and be bold in it. Don't worry about the naysayers, okay? All right? Don't worry about them. Trust me. Don't worry about them. Just do you, do what God has called you to do, and the day will go smoothly. All right? All right. See y'all beautifuls. Bye. Take care. All right.